time once again for your weekly MMA show, Split Decision MMA.
I think you were a little early there, but we'll fix it in post.
Are we going to fix it in post?
Are we going to be able to fix it in post?
Probably not. Fuck you guys.
Joey's gone and professionalism just goes out the window.
Yeah, it goes out the window. You know, I'm not going to go through the usual spiel that Joey has. You can actually just Google us now. Split Decision MMA, and it'll tell you where you can hear us, find us, and listen to us. That's the same thing as hearing, but it's it's what we do.
Except for Blogspot.
Don't we have radio here to drop in like sponsorships? Like just you hit a button like insert one here.
Enter one here.
We're
Yeah,
all silent, and then you just like put it in and post.
Sure.
Dude, it's hard to get radio to show up on time. It's hard to get you to show up at all.
Hey, things happen.
Now we're joined in the studio from Oakdale MMA and Last Stand Fight. It would be Killer Kelly McGill and Rolando the Machine Velasco. And Rolando, you got a fight coming up at, what is it? Is Tachi Palace 26?
Yeah, Tachi Palace 26 next week, Thursday. Yeah.
And this is for your belt?
Defending the belt, yeah.
Defending the belt at 135 against Joe Neal, who's 5-1.
Correct, yeah.
Are you really worried about this guy? I mean, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of finishes.
No, I'm not really worried about him. But I always get more nervous about the guys that I'm not supposed to worry about. You know,
because you don't know.
It's
the unknown, right?
Yeah, it's the unknown.
And is he going to come in at weight?
Hopefully he does.
Does he normally fight in another weight class?
He fights at 145, I think.
And Rolando, he don't say no. He fought one guy 10 pounds over.
He was like 170, right?
Yeah.
Something like that?
170, Brazilian. Spread it up, Brazilian. Yeah, hopefully he comes in and weigh. I don't want to go through another one of those controversial fights.
This guy's heavy.
Get off of me.
I'm just a little guy.
And that fight is February 18th at Tachi Palace.
Yeah.
And then, Kelly, you got a fight coming up March 11th.
Yeah, I'll be fighting March 11th, Invicta FC 16 in Vegas.
Yeah, and you're going to be fighting TBA.
TBA.
Who I'm reading on this card, TBA is apparently fighting 5 other girls the same night.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
She's a badass.
Crazy record, too.
Crazy record. She is undefeated, this TBA. Were you hoping, just a little bit that you were going to fight Irene?
No, not really. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind fighting Irene. I just feel like we're at different ends. I'm still in the beginning process of Invicta, where she's had a couple fights, and I haven't fought in over a year. So I feel like that'd be a very hard first fight to come straight back into. So I'm glad that I'm having somebody that's not towards the top right now.
Oh, so you know you're fighting.
I know who I'm fighting, yes.
She's not going to tell us. I thought you'd go all Conor McGregor on here and just say, I'm taking everybody.
Oh, no. I'm smarter than that.
And how's the leg?
Leg's really good.
Yeah.
It's 100%. Yeah, it feels good. It hasn't given me any problems at all. It's going good.
That's good to hear. All right, I also got to give a shout out to Strongboard, strongboardbalance.com. They're always there for us whenever we need what we need. And I think our Strongboard this week, like I said, and the rest of the month is at Voodoo Fight Club and Bad to the Bones Gym. I think Gene still got it at home, though. He said he was going to try to figure some stuff out. He can do some weird things with it. I'm just telling you.
Do we want it back?
Maybe.
Can we dip it in sterilizer?
You can't wash them. That's the good thing about Strongboard. Easy
it helped
to
you
wash.
with your injury, right?
It did.
You did try it out?
Yeah, we did try it out. Both of us tried it out. It was really good for stability, balance, and stuff like that. I feel like it really did benefit me.
Cool. Strongboardbalance.com. Change the way you work out. Strongboard.
Get on board.
Strongboardbalance.com. And again, always check us out at mymmanews.com for your latest breaking news. They always got everything latest and breaking. Like
I thought you just told people to just Google us.
No, but mymmanews.com. You find out things.
Sir.
Yeah, you'll find out things like Tito Ortiz.
I mean, we're 4 minutes in and you're still telling people how to fight us.
Yeah, but we also had 2 fighters that are in the studio. God, radio shows up late and he's got an attitude.
Right?
What a dick. But anyway, so Tito last night apparently, allegedly and reportedly from TMZ, escorted out of a club and arrested for assault and battery on a female.
Now, is this like the whole Ken Shamrock thing at the Vintage Fair Mall?
I don't...
Like
Ken Shamrock thought it was a dude.
Thought it was a dude? Did Tito think it was a dude?
I don't know. Tito Ortiz
It wasn't Cyborg, was it? Or is their management relationship over?
If it's a tranny, it's cool, right? It's like fighting a guy.
Is it? Like, legally, I don't think you can.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, Josh. Unless you want to fight Fallon Fox. I don't know how that works out.
There's a documentary on Netflix with her in it now.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said documentary and not like some other.
It's a documentary
Skin
on
flicks.
transgendered athletes, and she's featured in it.
Wow.
It's in my queue, but I haven't watched it.
Fallon Fox. It moved.
I don't think that's what it's called.
Okay. All right.
She's moving needles, right?
Yeah, she's a needle mover.
Yeah.
So what do we got, Dodge? What are we looking at?
CM Punk's fight has been delayed.
Oh, really?
He's not going to be fighting Mickey Gall's opponent who beat him. He has to have back surgery. He's still hoping to fight at the end of the year, though.
I don't know. I'm starting to get on Joey's.
I got my Joey.
I know.
Me and Joey got the
I know
bet.
you got the money, but I'm starting to say he's not going to fight.
Never?
No.
3 years was our bet. You don't think in 3 years?
I think that he should have at least mentioned his back surgery before they did all this promotion of him and...
He thought he was going to be all right.
No, he didn't. He just wanted the he just wanted the publicity. He knew he wasn't okay.
So, I mean, you think it's like with Verdum, where he was like, oh, I had this one injury, and it's okay, I fight through it. I fight through the injury, but then I have another injury. Like, you see the whole interview he did for Mauricio was like, oh, I had a back thing, and I was going to go, or I had the toe thing, and I was going to go through with it, no big deal. You know, it's something I go through all the time. And then my back. And then I saw that Kane pulled out, so I pulled out.
Maybe he realized that the fights aren't scripted.
No, he realized that it was Stipe Miocic, who's got hands like fucking concrete, and he knew if he wasn't at 100%, he would get his ass handed to him. That's my piece, anyway.
And what about CM Punk?
It's sad because he needs surgery, but he was able to pick up Ariel Helwani right after the fight.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ariel Helwani's a little guy.
And he couldn't take down Ariel Helwani. He tried to as they were going away. He couldn't even take down Ariel Helwani. You know?
He's light on his feet. That's all he can say.
Right.
We had, let's see, going into UFC Fight Pass has added Glory
This
and
is awesome.
K-1.
I'm sold. I'm back to Fight Pass.
To Fight Pass, as well as the Eddie Bravo Invitationals.
Was my fight not enough for you?
No, we already said we were going to buy in March. We were already going to buy in March. Or find some way to steal
She's
it.
fully healed now. So watch what you
Why do
say.
you think she's 2 people away from me? She's gonna throw
Well, that's why we did drop it, is because you weren't no longer on there.
Oh, okay.
So, you know.
No, we dropped it because we all figured out a way that we could watch one, and then it didn't work. We started kicking each other off. So now we have to.
Now we
buy
bought
your
it
own
again.
accounts,
Now we
yeah.
bought it again.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, we could just put this on your account and then we just all watch it? Yeah. No, it doesn't work.
No.
As long as nobody else is watching it.
Yeah, because we found out Matt has superior power and kicks everybody off
Yeah.
in the middle of fights.
Especially because he pays for it.
I know.
Conor McGregor won some awards here at the Fighters Only World MMA Awards. He won Breakthrough Fighter of the Year.
He couldn't even be there.
He also won Fighter of the Year, the Charles Mask Lewis Fighter of the Year award. He wasn't there, but his floating Zordon-like head was. And it was hilarious because it's he's in a blacked out room and you just see a spotlight on just his head. And he basically said, "I'd like to thank Fighters Only. I want to thank Hughes for last year's award, which I couldn't collect. Nobody can touch me. I apologize for not being there. There's another man that must be slain. Another champion must be dethroned. There's more numbers that need to be broken. I'm here to feed all you bums. I need to feed every single one of yous in the game. So I've got to keep working because you bums don't work. You got the heavyweight champion who's a pussy pulling out with a sore toe. How is it the heavyweight champion is going to pull out with a sore toe? What kind of champion is that? The game is on its knees, so I apologize I can't be there for the awards, but I'm here putting it in, working, putting in true work. The work it takes to keep every one of you fed. Thank you and thank me."
I'm going to shorten that. So basically it was put in and never pull out.
And thank you and thank me.
Thank you, yeah.
He does have a point. I mean, John Jones finished the fight with his toe completely dislodged.
Almost decapitated?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was gnarly.
I thought he broke that toe when he was celebrating at the end.
No.
No,
You saw
it was
it he
in the
pushed to throw a punch and it just went, and you could see the bone immediately come out. And just start leaving little red dots as he's walking the rest of the fight all over the cage.
Major case of Tolio.
It was bad. And then he didn't even realize it because the adrenaline's going. And then Joe Rogan's like, "Oh my God, your toe." And he's like, "What? Oh!" You see his face immediately go white. And he's just like, "I need to sit down. I need to hold on to this belt because it's holding me up." It was bad.
Is there an adult around?
Yeah. I need an adult.
Yeah, Rogan almost puked, too.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh God, I can't. Let's not show that again on the big screen. Show it again. Show it again." It was, pretty bad. We got some interesting things going on with Bellator. Not only did Benson Henderson recently sign with Bellator, Chris Lieben has unretired and signed with Bellator.
I wonder how hard that conversation was. Scott Coker's like, hey, I want to give you some money, and I want you to fight people. Okay, I'm in. Because, I mean, what was Lieben doing anyway?
Yeah.
Running his gym in Hawaii.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. Yeah.
I think he's going to fight Vanderlei.
That's what you want.
I think it's going to happen. He's going to rematch Vanderlei.
Okay, what's
because you know Vanderlei's going to sign with Bellator next.
But will they stay out of jail?
It's WCW versus WWF in like the 90s, 2000s right now. It is Monday Night Wars. That is what is happening between the UFC and Bellator. Bellator is picking up anybody that's retired and anybody that's young and wants to come in and make a name for themselves.
And when does the NWO come in?
It's happening.
Oh.
It's happening. You know what I mean?
That's the World Series of Fighting.
That's where, they're going to come in with their belts. You know what I mean? Throw them in the trash on live TV and then go fight for their belt. Like that's just what's going to happen.
How long
They're
till
putting on the freak show fights?
How long till Bellator has somebody come out and like crack a beer and tell everybody, "Can I get a hell
This is like Ric Flair fighting Hulk Hogan on WCW because WWF didn't want to pay them. I mean, you're going to have Hoist Gracie fighting Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Two guys who should have been gone a long time ago that are still coming in to fight, and you're going to pay to see it?
I can't.
Or watch it live on free TV?
I people all the time, they're like, dude, are you stoked for that? I was like, what?
You got Kimbo fighting Data 5000.
Now that one, I'm actually. I was one of the people during the internet time. I was like, these two guys need to fight.
Yeah.
And they never did.
I still wanted to. They don't need the cage. I want it in the little parking cones with the the caution tape.
Like a dumpster on one side.
Yeah, exactly. Like we need the South Philly street fight to happen.
Right. And the guy looks like Huggy Bear in the trench coat.
Right.
You know, kept jumping in the fight.
He's
trying to
holding
stop
the Money in the Bank championship with, and whoever wins gets the contract to stay with Bellator. Like that's loser goes home. Like
right. And there's like three guys from bum fights beating up a fucking.
I think
drive-through intercom.
Bellator needs to go full freak show. Like,
why not?
Is that like one of the Street Fighter bonus rounds where they're beating up like a
the oil drum where you got to kick it a bunch of times until it explodes. Like that needs to happen in between rounds. I want to see that happen.
See, and the only difference here, and
Bring Tong Po. I mean,
I try to explain this to a lot of people is it's not really WWE against WCW because Viacom actually has.
It is though because
they have a shit ton more money than Zuffa has.
But think about it. WCW was owned by Ted Turner, bro. That's what he did. He gave Eric Bischoff money and was like, here, go, let's beat WWF because I got all this money. I got Uncle Ted's money. Let's go. He had TBS, man. That's the same thing. That's Viacom. Owns Bellator. They're doing it, sticking it to the UFC.
Yeah.
I
just think that Viacom's much bigger, man.
I mean, Benson Henderson said right here that one of the biggest reasons was because of the Reebok deal.
And he wants to be able to go do other fights.
Other things.
Right.
Other things.
He wants to do kickboxing.
He only got $20,000 per fight at the top tier of the Reebok
from
deal.
the Reebok deal.
That's it.
But he made a lot more from the UFC.
But he was able to get. So even he said he fought 4 times a year. He got $80,000 from Reebok in sponsorships alone. Before Reebok, he got over $100,000.
Right.
You're already making $20,000 more by getting your own sponsorship. That's not including your fight purse. That's not including your contract. That's not including anything else you do. That's just getting your own sponsorships.
Now, you being Invicta, are you affected by the Reebok deal at all?
No, we don't have. No, we don't have any of that. I'm not a fan of the Reebok deal because I mean, what is it? The first how many fights you get paid $2,000?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think it's 3 or 4.
The first three or 4 fights?
Right.
Unless you're Sage Northcutt.
Yeah, that's true. My opponent hasn't even been announced, and my dad just texted me. He just got me a $2,000 sponsorship. My first sponsorship is $2,000. So it's like, I'm already doing better than that, and this is only my 3rd pro fight. Like, it's not fair to the guys that are been doing this for a long time. They just haven't gotten the opportunity to be in the UFC.
I think it helps. I mean, like they talked about in the beginning, it helps the guys who are having trouble getting sponsorships in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, you got lucky. You have somebody that's obviously helping you negotiate, get sponsorships. Yeah. Where a guy could get in the UFC, not be able to get hardly anything. Right. They're at least given some money.
But 3 or 4 fights in.
But 3 or 4 fights
in,
I mean, come on. And you get your champions. Why are they not allowed to get their own sponsors? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Right, especially when they're slapping everybody's name on the pads all over the ring.
Yeah.
You know, and they won't even... just the fact they took away the banners. I'm okay with whatever you have to wear, whatever. Yeah. But the banners, how hard is it to have somebody hang a banner for 45 seconds? Yep. I think that was what it used to be.
Yeah.
Is there about a time limit?
It's like I don't know exact time, but yeah, I think it's like a minute or so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. And as far as is there much negotiation on your contract, or did they pretty much send you a number and you're like, well, yeah, I want to fight for that?
Purse wise, or
yeah.
Yeah, we negotiated everything before. Like when I got my first contract, so I have everything set for the next couple fights that I have.
Oh, that's
so everything's
cool.
pretty set. But I'm surprised that Invicta is so lenient because they are partly owned by the UFC, but we're still allowed to go fight for other organizations and do tournaments and stuff like that. Like Andrea Lee, she's fighting on this next card with me. She just won the Legacy belt, and she's under contract with Invicta. So it's cool that they give us freedom to do what we want. We just have to get it approved.
Well, I mean, it's just like I don't understand the mix and mingle with Glory going to Fight Pass, and Glory's in a deal with Bellator too, right?
Yep.
So I don't understand how that all... See, I think it's going to come out one day that this has all been Viacom's money, you know? Or Viacom and Zuffa together just playing with everybody to build whatever they want. And actually playing with Reebok.
Yeah.
Because they're like, okay, you're right. So here in the UFC, Reebok, you're right. There's your stuff. Now all our fighters are moving to this other place, and we still have your $77 million.
Yeah. I think the one thing that bothers me the most is the fact that they don't let them pick what they wear. That's Reebok. Like everybody has the same exact thing. Like if they let them at least pick their own colors, like they did with McGregor,
No, like
or
McGregor
anything
gets to
like
pick
that.
yeah.
That would be cool if everybody got to do
Although
their own
Nate Diaz
personal
swears
things.
that those are Reebok jeans.
But didn't you say that there's a menagerie of colors in the back?
Yeah.
Just a lot of people don't pick them.
They don't pick
Really?
them. Yeah, they actually they've been giving them like palettes. Like, okay, you can do this and this. You can choose if you want this shirt or this cut or this,
that's
that.
cool.
And a lot of them are just like, yeah, just give me whatever. I don't care.
Oh, wow. I'm
And then they
surprised the
complain
girls
about
are
it.
like that.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, see, and again, it's nothing we can confirm. 'cause
And it's still
they're not offering us
also
shit.
like really early in it too. They're saying they want to focus on, okay, what do you want out of your fight gear? Sit down with the fighters.
I think
what
the
do you
first thing
want?
is they need to spell everybody's name right.
Yeah, we don't need Gilbert. Poor Gilbert. I should have bought that shirt when I had the chance.
Well, at least you got screenshots,
Right?
That's the big thing. And the thing about the American flag with Cerrone, that's you know, and I understand they tell one person one thing and that's just how it has to be, but it's just ridiculous. I hope he does, because they say that there's part of the Reebok short that's see-through. Mm-hmm. Actually sew it on the inside so that you'll be able to see it. But no one's came out and said that, but they've also told him and Nate one more
Infraction,
and
you
you could be gone.
Wow.
Drop your contract.
But I mean, as soon as they drop your contract, you've got a new one in Bellator.
Exactly.
Yeah, easily.
Right. Both those guys, definitely.
UFC 197 has been announced for April 23rd. We have John Jones returning to fight Daniel Cormier for the light heavyweight belt. How do you feel about the rematch? Same thing?
I'm just
Same thing, different day?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be more sided to Jones. I think he's going to finish Cormier this time.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so.
You don't think Cormier's going to come in with a different game
I
plan?
hope so.
And a step ladder?
And not
for
just
Cormier.
try to go for takedowns. Like, I just can't do it.
I'm pulling for Cormier, but
On that same card, we have Demetrious Johnson defending his belt up against Henry Cejudo. I've been excited for this fight for a long time. Henry Cejudo, 2008 Olympic gold medal wrestler. I think the only guy who can actually out-wrestle DJ. I'm interested to see what he does. And I like that, at least in the fights that I've seen Cejudo fight in, he's been showing that he uses his wrestling to control, but he actually is gaining other skills. Yeah. He's definitely not been just trying to drag a guy down, take him down, get up, drag him down, take him down, get up, and use that to win points. I think he uses his wrestling as like a backup plan. Yeah. So, what do you guys think?
I still think Johnson takes it.
I do too.
Just on his speed? Just
On his
'cause it's quick?
speed, yeah.
His footwork is really good,
footwork,
too.
Especially his footwork. I don't think Cejudo's could keep up with his pace. Yeah, his wrestling's good, but Johnson's wrestling
He's on
is
a
great
different
too.
level.
But I think this is the only guy out there in the flyweight division
agree.
that is available for a title shot. Who else in that division do you see him? He needs, after this, move up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing left for him. Super fight, you have to. I mean,
Yeah, I think he
there's
said he's
nobody.
down for Dominic Cruz,
Yeah.
but there
He
was a
wants-
specific amount of money.
Or
I forgot.
TJ. Yeah, he doesn't care.
Now, do you guys get a lot of people coming to the gym that are mostly wrestlers, and then you got to teach them to be strikers?
Not really.
No,
Not
actually.
really. Is mostly you
It's
guys
us.
have a lot of guys come over as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or...
We don't really get like a lot of new fighters on our
Yeah.
team.
Oh, really?
We're our coach and our team. We're very closed. We don't really,
Yeah,
I guess, accept new people unless there's like an exception for somebody. But We haven't had anybody new in a while.
Yeah, we've basically just raised our own fighters since they were like teenagers, and they started in jiu-jitsu. Everybody pretty much started in jiu-jitsu, and then we just shape them into strikers. It seems like everybody at our gym likes to strike now, but everybody's pretty much a jiu-jitsu guy. Like, I think I'm the only guy that came from a wrestling background, me and Martin Sandoval.
Okay, so from coming from a wrestling background, how hard was it to get you to get away from wrestling and to actually strike?
It wasn't hard, but it's definitely a skill that I've been having to practice and learn, just like wrestling. It just took a while, but it wasn't hard. No, not at all. Yeah.
Also announced for April, we have Ultimate Fight Night 86 going down in Croatia. And the main event for that is going to be Ben Rothwell versus Junior Dos Santos.
Dude, Big Ben.
Big Ben coming up, getting some strong wins together recently. I mean, obviously, Junior's got heavy hands. Yeah. But do you think he can stand with Rothwell, the kicks?
Rothwell took some pretty good hits from Barnett.
He did.
Yeah.
And his deal, he said in the back he was going to submit Barnett, and people laughed at him. And he did it.
It was, it's pretty crazy.
That was crazy. That was amazing.
First time I think ever Barnett's been submitted.
Yeah,
first time, and it was with the thing they call a go-go neck choke.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Rothwell's on a different level. I think he
is definitely coming back.
Yeah.
Trying to bring that IFL championship to like it was worth something.
I like his small attempt at trying to be the heel for a little bit.
Yeah, he came out to the ominous music.
Yeah. And now I think he gets
looks like the Undertaker almost, like just looking through his forehead. Like
yeah.
I was disappointed he didn't give a weird speech at the end.
That's what I thought. Or do the
yeah. Or his dance. I love that dance.
I think somebody told him, if you win, dude, just
I saw a meme
be graceful.
They put him in the Drake
and grateful.
box,
and he was. He was really grateful. He was glad. Yeah. But he even said, no matter what happens from here on out, submitting Barnett, by far the biggest thing in his career.
Did you see the meme where they put him in the Drake box?
Oh, yeah.
Where he's dancing alongside Drake?
Oh, my God. I'm going to have to look that up.
BJ Penn last week said he guarantees he fights at UFC 196. However, that is not true. Surprise, surprise. He did reveal, though, he will be fighting in April at UFC 197, which is the event we just talked about. I didn't see BJ on there. But BJ says he is going to fight. He needed to move his medicals back. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think BJ's actually coming back to fight?
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not.
Rumors are Nick Lentz. I mean, if Nick Lentz, after he's done verbally abusing him, decides to allow him to fight him.
I want to see him fight just because I want to see what Winklejohn can do with him.
What weight class do you want to see BJ fight at?
The heaviest possible.
Like 205 when he fought Lyoto Machida?
The heaviest possible.
Or like,
so we don't have to watch him do some horrible weight cut to where, like, when he blamed Dolce.
Like, I'll give him 155.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to see him at, like, 205. I don't want to see him at 170. Maybe 170.
170.
I think 155, he looks lean.
Yeah.
He still looks like he has some...
Yeah, I want to see him move, not stand
energy.
Up like his last fight.
145 where he almost died.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. The heaviest possible. Because I want him to have to do the least amount of work to make his weight. Because I really do want to see a good
pizza
fight.
And poke.
Something, dude. Because his last fight was sad. It's like, watching these NFL guys that don't know when to retire.
Yeah.
That was very hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's...
Because you want to root for him, but a guy who's standing like a board.
If he puts another performance like that last one, they should definitely just ban him.
Like, you can't. You're not allowed. Go fight in Bellator.
See, and then that's the thing. If they don't eventually give him a fight, he will go fight in Bellator.
Yeah, he's always been one to chase money.
Right. Even
though he doesn't need to. For some reason, he's always been one to chase money.
And he'll be one of those people that he'll draw a crowd on his name alone.
He dropped the UFC belt just to go fight in K-1.
Right.
Like, that's after he beat Matt Hughes for the welterweight belt. He got in a contract with K-1 Glory and dropped the belt. They, stripped him of his belt because he wanted to go sign a contract to fight somewhere else.
Wow.
USADA has confirmed that Yoel Romero did test positive for a banned substance. Since he's publicly discussed the case, we can confirm that he did test positive. This time we're investigating the circumstances surrounding positive tests to determine the outcome. He's due his fair and legal process. Yoel Romero says...
but I thought that they overturned it. They said that there was his supplements were tainted.
Yeah, he says that he denies taking any prohibited PED. and said it was, a tainted supplement. However, they say, you were still at fault. It is each athlete's personal duty to ensure that no prohibited substance enters his or her body. They're responsible for any prohibited substance or its metabolites or markers found and present in their samples.
So what are you supposed to have, like a kit to test your pool?
He says that, it is my responsibility when I take something. However, I think there should be public warnings when you see a supplement on the outside that says clean that you're allowed to take it.
Yeah, not like stuff for your car, 50 state legal.
Yeah.
MMA fighter legal.
Yeah. I mean, you guys obviously take supplements?
No.
None really. At all?
No.
Not really.
Just protein powder?
But I mean, you could tell he was on something for sure.
Well, yeah, but
but they're not regulated by the FDA. Supplements and vitamins and stuff like that. So, I mean, you don't even know half the time what's in your vitamins. So.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Do you still read the labels very carefully?
Yeah. He does.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't even matter what the label says, because half the time it's not even.
It's
really
not going to be what it is.
It's not what it is. It's really that.
Yeah,
bad.
because there's a scientific name for beaver taint.
And I think that every time you take something, you're supposed to send a list to the UFC of what you take. That way, if something comes up, they can at least go see if what's going on. So,
well, the other problem is you could take the same thing from the same company, and they still don't always match up. It's not always the same makeup.
I would just snap a picture. I'd be like, "This is what I'm taking. Is it good?
Is it cool?" Before I buy this, standing there, Snapchat, hey,
yeah,
is this cool?
Well,
wait a minute. Wait, I know I got my credit card.
They have to check in anyway.
All right, it's good. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, the USADA should have that. They should have it to where you snap one. This is what I'm taking. Is this all good?
Yeah. That would make things a lot easier.
And then they're on the hook if you took some shit that wasn't going to pass.
True.
Yeah, but then they would have to regulate the industry, and that's what the whole kind of deal is. There's legislation against regulating vitamins and supplements. It is. I'm just telling you how it is. Don't give me the.
I was smiling. I don't know what happened. You guys can have your own match later. Okay?
He already knows what I'm thinking.
Three fighters, have been released by the UFC. Scotty Spotty Jorgensen, gone, and George Roop, along with Yu Chul Nam. Of course, this is brought to you by UFC Fighters Info's Twitter account, who basically has a program that scrolls constantly anybody that's dropped from the UFC roster website, and then they announce all the names. Because it's usually a good sign that you've been dropped by the UFC if you're no longer listed on their website.
Yeah, didn't somebody find out through that? Yeah.
Somebody find
they didn't even know they got dropped.
Oh my god.
Oh, that sucks.
They hadn't contacted, and then he said 2 hours later they contacted him. He found out on Twitter first.
That's like having your girlfriend go, "Hey, I'm single now" on Facebook, and you're like, "I didn't know."
And then she calls you and goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're breaking up."
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck!
I could have totally boned that chick last night.
I mean, are you guys sad to see George Roop and Scott Jorgensen gone? Or do you feel like they've kind of been on downward slope? We need some fresh, new...
Yeah, more room for me.
There's 3 spots now.
Yeah.
Yep, 3 spots.
3 spots just opened up. George St. Pierre recently went on, did an interview with Joe Buck, saying the reason he decided to leave the UFC was because he wasn't having fun anymore, and there was too much pressure. He was getting too much criticism, and he is a obsessive compulsive and wanted to be the best in the world. Says all that mattered for me, I needed to step out and have a normal life, take a mental break.
At least he's honest about that. I bet that's hard to say.
Do you think it was a very wise choice for Mr. St. Pierre?
Yeah.
Do you think he's ever coming back?
I don't know.
No, he's not coming back.
Do you buy into the theory
fights
that
first?
he left because of testing?
That was the stress. That was too much stress for him. He said because
he said it was the testing. That was the stress?
he said the testing from his opponents because he didn't know if his opponents were ever going to be clean or not.
Well, what about him though?
He said he was fine.
The aliens keep him clean, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
I lost large.
Who fights first, CM Punk or George St. Pierre?
George St. Pierre. I have way more confidence in George St. Pierre.
And a little bit of sad news before we go over a recap of UFC Fight Night. Kevin Randleman has passed away. The monster. Former UFC...
As I was like, Kelly doesn't know who that is.
Kelly does not know who that is.
I was like, hey, this guy passed away. And he's like, you don't know who that is? And I was like,
Former
no.
UFC heavyweight champion.
You can't know everybody.
Yeah,
who fought in Pride, was famous for
she
knocking
only
out...
actually took on the sport 8 years ago, right?
No, like 4.
4?
Yeah,
4
4 or 5.
I got some DVDs you need to borrow.
Yeah.
I have the entire Pride library.
I don't know if you want to see the DVD.
Fight DVDs, not Joey's fight DVDs, but like actual.
Yeah, I got so much.
Not that weird subscription thing he has.
Oh,
Yeah, see, well, don't feel bad because and I'm real bad about it too because I've only actually got into this in the last 10 years. For the longest time, I was just like, dude, it's just going to be something that just goes away.
It's a fad.
It's just going to, but then
It's like the bare knuckle boxing with the bare knuckle holes over the gloves. Yeah. Where'd that go?
Yeah,
it still happens at the H-Bar B on Fridays and Saturday nights.
I have to see faces. I can't. Most of the names I can't remember. If I see a face, I'll remember. That's basically it.
So Kevin Randleman is famous for knocking out Mirko Kokop when Mirko Kokop was pretty much unstoppable, and also dumping Fedor on his head and basically knocking him unconscious for a brief moment, and almost winning that fight. That was absolutely insane.
Having a very Yoel Romero-esque physique.
He got busted for steroids, I'm pretty sure, and cocaine, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
that's sad.
But he passed from heart failure,
from pneumonia, right?
From pneumonia.
Yeah. But the cocaine probably did not help.
I could be wrong.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry. Cocaine's not good
you
for
can send hate mail to Josh at Josh at...
I'm on a fucking roll today.
Yeah. Moving on to UFC Fight Night. What number was this?
We'll edit that in post.
It's 82.
Yep. 82, yeah. So this happened over the weekend. You had, started bottom there, Alex White defeating Artem Lubov. Mickey Gall defeating Mike Jackson, winning his shot against CM Punk.
45 seconds.
Winning his fight against CM Punk. Submission. Obviously, you're fighting a kickboxer who has no ground game.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you should call this guy out.
Yeah. Just
go up to 170.
Taking him on anyway.
Take him on, right? Diego Rivas over Noad Lahat. KO flying knee. That was crazy.
Oh,
Did you see that?
Yeah, he was
on
out.
Fightpass? Yeah.
He was out.
Justin Scoggins over Ray Borg. Derek Lewis over Damian Grabowski.
Yeah, Grabowski couldn't grab anything. He could not.
Josh the Burke Berkman over KJ Noons.
And we're even rooting for KJ.
I was rooting for KJ. I usually don't like KJ.
We knew you were.
I usually don't like KJ, but I was rooting for him in this. The return of the Burke didn't happen the way he wanted it to, but he came back for this fight. So Mike Pyle with the greatest mullet of all time over Sean Spencer.
That was a good fight.
That was awesome. He was all over the place.
Yeah. Misha Krukanov over Alex Nicholson, who... Dumbass, don't propose to your girlfriend during the weigh-ins because you're going to lose your fucking fight. That's bad juju, bro. Bad juju.
Oh, man.
You got nothing left to fight for.
Hey,
but now she's stuck with them. That's even worse. She's stuck with the loser.
Hey, he lost the fight. He lost the fight, but he won some hearts.
Did he?
He has no money to pay for the wedding.
He's got no money. You lost in the second round. Neck crank.
Somebody did a GoFundMe. I know they
sucks. Putting up that ring. Joseph Benavidez over Zach Mikowski, decision unanimous.
Let's talk about this.
What are we talking about?
Did he win this fight?
I thought he won the fight.
Really?
Yep. I could be biased because I didn't really give Mikowski much of a chance to start with. I think he did surprise me. But Joseph Benavidez, he does what he does, man. He outworked the guy, I thought.
I like him, and he's local and everything, but I only gave him the third.
Only the third?
Only the third.
I don't know about that.
And I did it like you said. I go in and I break it down minute by minute for the 5 minutes. And Gene agreed.
I thought he controlled the fight a little bit more. That's why I think I gave him the edge. I don't know about unanimous. Could have been a split, but I still gave it to Benavidez. OSP up against Rafael Cavalcante, unanimous decision.
Yeah.
How'd you think this fight? I mean, did it excite you?
No.
I thought OSP would come out a little more aggressive.
I thought they both would be. They both kind of have something to fight for.
I felt like this fight should have been on Bellator.
Weren't they saying they were both hurt during the fight?
Of course. Everybody's hurt when you have a shitty fight. Roy Nelson against Jared Rosholt.
I seen this fight at a Little League softball game one time.
Right, between two dads. That's how I felt this fight went. They were
stealing our germs!
Tired white guys. Big white guys. Man. And Steven Wonderboy Thompson takes out Johny Hendricks in the first round at 3 minutes 31 seconds. TKO punches. A lot more than just punches happened in this fight. Lots of kicks. Like I said, we talked about before we came on air that I don't think Johny Hendricks has ever seen anybody in a side stance before in his life. Other than watching Karate Kid on TV. Because he had nothing. He tried the one takedown and was like, shit, it's not there.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at his coaches.
It was one of those?
Yeah.
The plan's not working.
Plan's not working. Started looking at his coaches and then going, shit, I need also to block my face.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do?
If you go watch the fight, mentally, he lost the game. He lost the fight at 2 minutes.
He was just looking wide-eyed like, what do I do? And Thompson was throwing kicking him in the face, side kicks, wheel kicks, snap kicks, I mean, everything you could think of. And then to his ribs anytime. Yep. Even to his legs. I mean, he was just all over the place.
He did everything but what Hendricks wanted, which was get up against the cage.
And now they're clamoring for Wonderboy Thompson to get a title shot, even though Tyrone Woodley is in the way. Tyrone Woodley has been guaranteed the next shot. We don't know what's going to happen with that. Both guys are arguing back and forth. Tyrone Woodley says, I even had to get off my Twitter because everyone was saying, he beat the number one guy. He's like, yeah, but how come I didn't beat the number one guy? It's like, not my fault. Hendricks had lack of commitment to the sport. He's like, should I be penalized for the other guy not being professional or, not making weight? All these kind of things. He's all, it's a joke. It's comical. He got his name out there, but I feel like he needs to have one more fight, maybe against Roy McDonald or Conor Condit. What do you guys think? Do you think? And Thompson, on the other hand, says, you know what? He says, I like Tyrone, but it's part of the game. He's like, there's a few guys out there up for a title shot. I have wins over Ellenberger and Johny Hendricks, back-to-back first-round knockouts. I think I deserve it. Me and Robbie Lawler could put on a show.
It would for sure be a show.
Yeah, I would like to see that fight.
Like to see that
more.
fight. I definitely, again, think Robbie Lawler needs to find somebody that'll knows karate, especially that point style of karate to be able to spar with.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's going to be in the same boat. He's going to be swinging and missing, getting caught in the face with kicks.
I think Robbie would get taken down by Thompson.
I
don't think he's finding anybody like his style.
What about Condit Thompson?
Condit Thompson would be a good fight, too.
That'd be really good, too.
I think they should set that one up.
Joe Rogan says this is the next evolution of MMA, that there's now a new style. Again, the point fighting has finally came into MMA, has come back. They've been training for a long time. They've been adapting their sport for a long time and then adapting it for MMA. What do you guys think?
I think it evolves, personally, every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, it does, for sure.
So. Yeah,
I mean, you have the Neo footwork was the last thing that we were talking about, right? With Dominic Cruz and TJ Dillashaw. Yeah. Even Demetrious Johnson has a little bit of that kind of mixed in there. Conor McGregor definitely has. Now he's saying it was movement.
Holly Holmes' big thing was footwork.
Yeah. So now they're saying this could be the next thing. It's stifling a lot of people.
Is there any secret stuff you guys are working on?
It's a secret.
It's a secret. Yeah, we've been putting a lot of importance on footwork and movement as well. But yeah, I totally agree. It's definitely that style's up and coming. And if you can't keep up with somebody that's moving side to side, changing angles, changing footwork, it's just throwing so many things at you that you got to deal with. It's going to overwhelm you mentally. You got to. It's a pattern that you're looking for, and if you're just like throwing so many things at somebody, they're not going to be able to figure out that pattern. So I think it's just it's the next thing.
Yeah, I noticed out in Oakdale, you guys had a lot of visitors. I mean, are these visitors working with you guys on little things here and there?
Visitors like trainers?
And other people.
Is this a trick question?
Not really.
Yeah. We don't have we don't do cross training.
Yeah, we don't cross train, but definitely some people will come in, they'll give their 2 cents and help us out with little things here and there. They definitely help, for sure.
It's more like we all just kind of sit down, decide what we all think we all need to work on, and then go from there type thing. That's how we change our game.
So is that it, Dodge?
That's it. That's all we got for the news today. Fight's coming up next weekend.
When he throws on the gay porn, that's when the show
I know. Kevin Randleman and Mirko Krokop.
Oh, sorry.
Come on. Mirko Krokop goes night-night.
All right. Thanks again to Kelly McGill and Rolando Velasco. Rolando, you'll see him February 18th, Tachi Palace 26 against Joe Neal. And then we'll see Killer Kelly McGill in Invicta 16, March 11th at the Hard Rock in Vegas.
I don't know where it's at.
not going to be at the Hard Rock.
It's not at the Hard
changed
Rock.
it?
Yeah, they changed it. It's not the Hard Rock.
Okay.
I think they might have already said. So
She knows. She almost said it.
I almost said it.
Since she's not supposed to say it.
All right.
I won't say it. Look
All
it up.
right.
Also fighting with me is Martin Sandoval from Last Stand Fight team and Chris Barone as well. They'll be fighting next week with me on the same card.
All right, come check them out. As always, from the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios, this is Split Decision MMA, and we'll see you at the fights.